maybe I'm a little bit old school on those things, but I can see a massive difference when it comes to different ages and generations. And it basically related to motivation. Initially, when I became CCO, I was looking at things like from my personal perspective, and I wasn't counting that there is a difference in motivation. And it was a new discovery for me in the sense of that I thought that bonuses, money, nice titles can motivate people, but it's not just about. Obviously, when I see that something is not working out, I always try to educate myself. So what's happening? I start reading, I start like talking to experienced people, like coaching, looking more information about it, like basically speaking to people as well. And I realized that, for example, especially specifically within my team, I realized that certain people, they basically, to perform the best, they're not after money, they're after comfortable environment. And then I start speaking to my peers and we start figuring those things like together, which was mind opening. Like certain things, for example, my friend has a daughter, she's 18 and she graduated, like she went to university, was 21, then graduated as a lawyer or whatever. And then she went to work in the office, like some big office in Canada. And the first day of her employment, her biggest thing was like, how cool is the coffee machines in the office? So people actually not motivated by salary, by things, but environment, how the employee is treating them. So some things which are super important, and it would be my advice, look at what devices. If, for example, if it's a commercial team and they want specific model of the phone, give them this phone. It's not really that expensive, like loyalty and retention. If they're traveling and so on, don't give them the laptop which they cannot carry around, which like weighs, I don't know, 5 kilos, and that's very difficult to put in the handbag or somewhere because it upsets people, like literally. So give them the tools to perform, give them the comfortable environment to perform. It doesn't mean that everybody is like that, but for example, the younger generations, they're very, very picky when it comes to comfort level, when it comes to certain things, and it doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just different. So you need to acknowledge and accept that different generations have different priorities, different motivations, and different things which stimulate them to perform. Once you know it and you understand it, you will have the best team, the strongest team, which will admire you as a manager and will love you as a manager. Like for me, retention is super important because whatever people say, it takes so much time to bring somebody in, your time to invest. 6 months before the person will start delivering and performing. And then like 2 months down the line, 2 years down the line, they leave. For me, it's a really bad retention rate. But unfortunately, people don't want to recognize it, especially as the managers. They don't want to agree with it. One of the biggest mistakes which I noticed, people don't want to do, like managers don't like doing one-to-ones. They do it because they're forced to do sometimes by HR and so on. And I know, I would say in my team, like 95% of people, they needed one-to-ones. It was so important to them. And sometimes I don't understand why myself, because they're strong performers, they're leaders, they can do things. But it's important. And for some people, it's even much more important. And I mean, it doesn't have to be daily, weekly. It can be bi-weekly or it can be monthly. But people need time with their manager. And I'm unfortunately, sadly, seeing a lot of people, it's like, it's none of my business. I don't want to, like, you have a team, you have your manager, go to your line manager. Unfortunately, even the CCO, the C-level has to be close to their team. They need to understand what's happening and they need to correct sometimes managers and so on. And once it's done, like your team would be flying. So my advice, spend more time with the team. It's important, even if you don't want to do it, but you need to do it if you want to have a successful team. And see what motivates different people, because it's very, very different. It's not always money, but it's crucial if you want to have a successful team.